Greetings, this is J.R. Dickey. Thanks for tuning in to our podcast. And by the way, don't forget our website, graceandtruth.net. I hope you're having a great day, but if not, hang with me. It's about to get better. Okay, we're going to call this devotion Nothing But Grace. Let's get started. Jesus had just spent time on the Mount conferring with Moses and Elijah, while being transfigured in glorious radiance. They discussed his departure, that his coming passion, that is the torture, the crucifixion, and presumably his resurrection. And meanwhile, Peter, James, and John were present, but seemingly had no clue, no understanding. In fact, Peter just blurted out that they could set up 3 tents. Luke 9 says, while he was saying this, a cloud came and overshadowed them, and they were fearful as they entered the cloud. And a voice came out of the cloud saying, "This is my beloved Son. Hear him." Did Jesus just shake his head? We don't know. But it seems like the Father was saying, use your ears, not your mouth. We know that Jesus loved his disciples immensely, but the enormity of what lay before him spiritually and physically must have weighed on him. The next days, several additional, I'll call them incidents, happened almost like Satan trying to throw challenges his way. Let's read about them. Luke 9, verses 37 through 42 say, "Now it happened on the next day," this is after that Mount experience, "when they had come down from the mountain, that a great multitude met him. Suddenly a man from the multitude cried out, saying, 'Teacher, I implore you, look on my son, for he's my only child. And behold, a spirit seizes him, and suddenly he cries out. It convulses him, so that he foams at the mouth, and it departs from him with great difficulty, bruising him. So I implored your disciples to cast it out, but they could not.' Well, then Jesus answered and said, 'O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you and bear with you? Bring your son here.' As he was coming, the demon threw him down and convulsed him. And Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit, healed the child, and gave him back to his father." Apparently, none of the disciples, including those who were on the mount with Jesus, could believe sufficiently to remedy the situation apart from Christ. Another one in Luke 9 says, "And they were all amazed at the majesty of God. But while everyone marveled at the things which Jesus did, he said to his disciples, 'Let these words sink down into your ears, for the Son of Man is about to be betrayed into the hands of men.' But they did not understand this saying, and it was hidden from them, so that they did not perceive it, and they were afraid to ask him about this saying." Next incident. Then a dispute arose among them as to which one of them would be greatest. It's Luke 9:46. Here, all the disciples, presumably including Peter, James, and John, are disputing over their desired personal power. Next incident. Now, John answered and said, "Master, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we forbade him because he does not follow with us." Next incident. First, the setup. Here it is. They all continued on their journey towards Jerusalem and passed through Samaria. Now, we need to understand that at this point, Jesus is fully focused on accomplishing his mission. Dave Guzik says, because Jesus was going to Jerusalem, these particular Samaritans did not welcome Jesus. They didn't have good relations with the Jews and were prejudiced against them. We may also see this as the opposition, knowing or not, that comes the way of all who set their face steadfastly to do God's will. Now, the incident. As noted, the Samaritans did not receive his messengers well. It says, and when his disciples, James and John, saw this, they said, Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, just as Elijah did? But he turned and rebuked them and said, you do not know what manner of spirit you are of. For the Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went on to another village. Now, did you notice? It looks like all these 6 incidents involved one or more of the 3 inner circle disciples who witnessed Christ's transfiguration. What amazing patience from Jesus as he faced the coming sacrifice. Of course, there were many more incidents, but these seem to amplify the fact that witnessing the transfiguration did not make these fellows any, I'll say, sharper. They continued to bumble and fumble even when they meant well. They just couldn't help Jesus accomplish the cross. They didn't understand it at all. The simple fact was that only Christ himself could accomplish it. And there is an application to us that is critical. If you're saved, honestly born again, you have also experienced the transfigured Christ in that you have believed he is the risen Lord of lords and King of kings. You may not have seen physically, but you have known spiritually. Though he is in your heart, you are also probably nonetheless clueless on how to accomplish his will. And that's how it should be, for it is not you who is supposed to accomplish it. It's him. Whether pastor or pewster, on our own or in our own power, we will always bumble and fumble just like Peter, James, and John did. But Christ is long-suffering, immensely patient, and ever-loving. After the cross, guess what? These same 3 guys, filled with and dependent upon the Holy Spirit, preached wildly impactful messages, healed the sick, even raised the dead. They followed Christ even unto death. They followed step by step. Now, don't waste your time trying to, I'll say, build him a tent like those guys on the mount. You can't help him save you. As Paul wrote in Romans 7, for the good that I will to do, I do not do. But the evil I will not to do, that I practice. Well, like the Father said to the boys up there on the mount, hear him, trust him, believe and obey his word. Your salvation, it's nothing but grace. Now may the Lord grant you peace in the midst of any storm and faith to trust him. Look for our next podcast, and may you realize more of his grace today.